Get the fuck out of here. When they first showed up,
spit on my floor. Huh?
they spit on your floor? Why would they do that, though? I don't understand that.
Them niggas were retarded, man. Them niggas just, them niggas retarded, man. Like, you could tell from looking at them, right? Like, genetically, like, they're not up to speed. Like, there's something wrong with them, I think.
And these were the Section 8 tenants?
Yeah. This was a Section 8 tenant yesterday. So I looked at the mother, and she ain't doing shit. I said, "Is your child sick? Why is she drooling on my floor?"
Right.
But she was just sitting there deliberately pulling saliva on my floor.
God damn.
Right? So the mother grabbed her, because you know how niggers do. When they do something, they do violent. They're violent.
Right.
She grabbed her ass, and she started screaming and crying. Go over there and sit on the ground, on the corner, blah, blah, blah. I was like, niggas, get out of my house.
Damn.
Then the other little bitch shitted in her diaper.
Oh, no, that ain't shit.
You can smell it throughout right? The mama went upstairs and
changed
her
that
diaper
bitch.
in my bathroom.
Changed that. What, did she leave the diaper? Like, did she leave that motherfucking diaper?
She took that shit with her.
Well, good for her.
Wipe that whole place down after she left.
Good for her for at least Good for her for at least goddamn taking the diaper with her. You gotta give you motherfucking credit wherever you can find it, bro. Shit. So she took the diaper with her, and then what?
Yeah. And then I said to them, I needed to get them out of the house. So I said to him, look, why don't I show you the outside? Right?
Yeah.
How you doing? But
so this ghetto nigga was terrible.
Awful, man. And the way I got him out the house is I said, let's go, let me show you the outside.
Yeah.
And I got him out of the house, man. I was like, oh my God. And that wasn't, the thing is, that wasn't the tenant's kids. That was her friend's kids.
Yeah.
But that was her best friend. So if she moves in, her best friend will be over there with those two kids.
Oh, hell yeah. All day, bro. So, wait a minute. She came to see the place with her best friend? What?
Yeah. And her best friend and her best friend's two little kids.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, I guess you ain't renting her then, huh?
Yeah, she was like, send me an application. I said, yeah, sure. Okay, cool.
God.
No, wait, I almost want to send it to him so she can pay me the application fee. She owes me that.
Man, DC done start fucking regulating that shit. You know what I mean? I don't know if you know that, but DC done start regulating the hell out of them application fees. You know what I'm saying?
People are taking advantage.
Yeah, I used to play that game, have a bunch of motherfuckers show up, $35 for application fee, and I just throw all this shit in the trash. Right? But no, I think
I won't do it then. I'll just do it to the ones that I'm seriously considering.
Yeah. I mean, you need to look at
good prospects.
Oh, do you? What they look like?
So, one is a girl about the age of the previous girl that was there.
Yeah.
So she's like in her, probably between 30 and 35, somewhere in there.
On the downside of baby making age.
Yeah. But she has two kids, a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Oof.
So that I don't like, right?
Yeah.
But she just came across very, like when I interviewed my other tenant, I liked her demeanor and what she was saying to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I felt the same way about this girl when she was talking to me.
Okay.
I was like, I like her demeanor. She doesn't seem like someone who's going to be partying or doing crazy stuff, or I just liked her demeanor.
Let me ask you, how many people have you shown it to so far?
6.
Did any of them show up with a man?
Yeah. 2 or 3 of them showed up with the man. This girl showed up with a man.
And what did you think of the men?
So the guy she showed up with, that was the other thing I liked about her. I loved her situation.
Mm-hmm.
He's a general contractor.
What?
And
and they on Section 8?
He's not. He's a friend of hers.
Oh.
And so he's a general contractor.
So he lived with her, basically.
What'd you say?
He lived with her, basically.
I guess so. I guess he probably lives with her, maybe.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite figure out their situation. But he showed me his business and everything on online and everything. It seemed like a legitimate. He seemed like he's doing legitimate work.
Okay. And
right?
so he laying up with a Section 8 mama.
I guess so, if he's with her like that. You know what I mean?
And those are probably not his children. Is that fair?
No. I don't think those are his children.
Why do you say that?
Well, to be honest, I don't think they are. But who knows, right? Because she didn't bring the children with her.
Okay. All right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
But
God damn.
What I liked about him is he does. Apparently, he has his own company doing general contracting, so he does a lot of different types of work. So he was like, you know, if something breaks or something, I'll make sure it's taken care of. And that's my old tenant. She had a guy like that. That's why I didn't have to do anything, because the guy she knew, he did everything for her. You know what I mean?
Include.
It reminded me of that. You know what I mean?
He also whooped her ass when she needed it, right?
Say that again.
He also whooped her ass when she needed it.
No, that wasn't that guy. So
she a new nigga.
The previous tenant, she actually had an older gentleman who was a friend. She said he was a friend, and then she had a boyfriend. And this older guy, though, he did a lot of home improvement stuff. So he cut the grass. He would do stuff there. And that's why I never had to do anything. I literally never had to do anything. When I would offer to do things, she would tell me, no, I'll get my friend to do it.
And then so another violent nigga came over and ran her away.
So that was her boyfriend. She had her boyfriend living in the basement.
With her? Or he was just living down there by himself?
He just lived down there by herself because she stayed in the bedroom upstairs. And then they broke up and had a falling out.
So they meet in the middle on the first floor.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy, these people they live some interesting lives. I tell you, goddamn.
They really do. So that's one girl, and she's sending me. She already sent me the application fee, and she said she's going to send me the application this weekend. So the other one is a woman in her mid to late 50s, and I like her because she's in her mid to late 50s, and she came with a guy, and that guy did home improvement stuff too. Right.
Damn, you think the hood would be built up? All these goddamn niggas doing home improvement.
You would think, you know.
Where they do home improvement at?
The thing I liked about her is she's older, right? She even walks with a limp.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right? You can tell she's older, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good. It's real good.
She ain't about to tear up nothing, and she ain't got no kids. You know what I mean?
And that's good. It's real good. That's a sweet spot. She too old to have any more children.
Yep.
She crippled damn near, right?
Yep.
And the man is with her. He must love her because he could probably do better than a cripple, right?
Yep.
Now, you sound like you got a one-on-one and chicken dinner.
Yep. So I think I'm gonna go with her.
You gotta go with age, man. They age out of that fighting and shit. The older they get, they age out of it. Even the niggas that they'll pick up with, won't have that fight in them. You know, boy, that's a beautiful one right there. If you can get you how much is her voucher for?
$4,300.
Ooh.
To be specific, to be more accurate, $4,327.
Oh, wait, that's the sweet spot right there. That's how you monetize the ghetto right there. Huh?
I know, right? So you would go with the older one too, right?
Yeah, I would go with the older lady over the young girl.
Yeah.
Because the young girl, man, they had too many problems with the boyfriend. He might find him a new woman, but he still be cheating with her. The older man, if he would have crippled black woman, he probably would have for the long haul, right?
Yep.
Probably something wrong with him.
Yep.
There's probably something real wrong with him. So that's a winner right there.
Yeah.
They can't upgrade each other and cause problems. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And the thing about it, that the other girl, she didn't bring her kids, so I didn't get a chance to see what they're like. Mm-hmm. Like, they might be like those two kids that came over.
They might. That's why she ain't bring them. Yeah. Right? I want you to listen. The thing is, man, you gotta bring all your liabilities. I want to see everything or everybody that could cause a problem. She didn't bring all of her potential problems. The other lady may not have either, but she doesn't have children that would be on the lease.
Yeah.
Why does she have a 2-bedroom if it's only her?
So she said she's going to move in with her. She said she's supposed to be getting married, and he's going to move in with her.
They're supposed to be getting married. Now, but that's going to affect her Section 8 voucher if he's working, ain't it?
I guess it could,
Mm-hmm.
but would it affect it? I guess it could. She didn't say anything. I guess it could.
That's why she gonna move in and then get married.
And then get married, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I was about to say it wouldn't affect it if she got married later.
Yeah, it would.
Well, I mean, if she moves in, then they'll sign her up for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a year, they might reevaluate her.
It don't work like that. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because I had a bitch. You may be right because you may slip through, but I had a bitch start working after she had signed her lease to not be working. You understand?
Yeah.
So the government said, I'm going to pay you 100% of her rent. Then she started working, but she didn't tell the government. Right? And so the government, when they found out, they didn't punish her. They punished her by way of the middleman, which was me. And so they say, we're going to cut what we should be paying John Galt, or me, and paying, I'm talking to myself, and she's saying that, and they made her pay. The thing is, once they figure it out, they're going to make, her pay the difference, which will fall on you. You understand?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
that's why she's trying to get over and buy herself some time, because the punishment ultimately will fall on you. You understand?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for telling me that. I'm actually going to ask her a couple of questions about that. Because she mentioned getting married. I'm going to say, so when are you planning to get married? And, I'm going to ask her about that. Yeah.
Because their income coming into the household would change. You understand?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And, shit, that's it. But her 2-bedroom voucher has to be based off somebody else being in the house. Otherwise, they give her efficiency.
That's true. So she had to base it off of someone. I'll have her send me.
But you should see her. You should see her lease up package, right? Don't they give you like a lease up package? Isn't that what it's called?
Lease up package. Yeah.
Right. That's right. And then you'll see who's listed on the lease. That's how. That's if my memory serves me correctly. You'll see who's on the lease. And because she got to have somebody else. There's no way they give her a 2-bedroom. They jump a 1-bedroom and an efficiency and give her a 2.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Unless she had someone on her lease that maybe they fell off or something like that. They're not moving with her.
Yeah, because she doesn't have any kids. If she had a kid, then that would be the second bedroom.
She doesn't have any kids. She doesn't have any kids moving in with her. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
Which one is it? Do you know? 55-year-old black woman with no children is an oddity.
Yeah.
So she probably got children.
I'm gonna ask her a few questions about. She said the guy she's marrying is supposed to move in with her. That's what she said.
But she can't put him on the lease.
Yeah.
Because they will say, well, what's his income? Yo, let me ask you this question. How much is she supposed to pay of that $4,300?
I won't know until I submit it.
Bro.
And they come back and tell you.
Bro, you better. Does she have income at all? Does she have any income at all?
I don't know until she sends me the application back. She mentioned, I asked her what she did, and she mentioned it, but I can't remember, because I knew that she was going to fill out the application, then I'll see what it is, and then I'll check it. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah,
because that's interesting. She got a 2-bedroom voucher, but she's by herself, not married. He works.
Yeah.
Assuming he has some kind of W-2 type income. He probably got trucks and vehicles, some kind of shit. He got something, personal assets in his name, which would count against her for getting,
Well, I'm going to ask her. I'm going to ask her again who's moving in and who's on the lease, and who's on the, who's
You know what you should ask her?
Second bedroom.
You know what you should, like, where is she moving from?
Oh, in Deanwood. She said she lives another place in Deanwood.
And okay, what you should ask her is, how much was she paying her last landlord out of her pocket? That's how you figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because you want as low as money is, like, you have two questions you need to ask her. How much was her landlord getting? Because she has a voucher for 43, but you may get 26.
Yeah.
And then she got to pay 13 out of that shit. You be like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I only got a guaranteed of 13, right?
Yeah.
So you got to make sure that her last landlord was getting the max voucher amount, and how much of that she had to pay. Like, you don't want her having to pay 50% of that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's a lot of money that they're going on the.
That's a lot of money to put on her.
You're right. Damn right.
On her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She might got disability or something. She walking around on a limp.
Yeah, she could. She could have disability. That could be her income.
Damn.
She gave me the $25. She gave me the $25 up front and then took the application. So, yeah, when she sends that back, I'm gonna ask her all those questions.
Yeah, you got to dig deep into, like, how she getting her money and what she's responsible for. Because that voucher is what the maximum payment is to you, but it doesn't represent what she has to pay.
Yeah.
And that could be a big, you know.
Could be a lot of money.
Hell yeah, could be a lot of money. You'd never get you'd be struggling to get that shit every month from her. Right?
Yep.
Right. But it can't be that much. How much could it be?
See, when I had my last tenant, she only paid about $100, and the rest of it was coming from the DC government.
Damn.
So I never had an issue with her.